I'm 37. I live in Denver. I work as an environmental engineer for a company that remediates contaminated sites. Life is calm. Relationships are stable. But one name always makes me feel sick, Mom. She lives in a nursing home in Wisconsin. She has mid-stage dementia. She doesn't forget me completely, but she confuses time, people, and events. Sometimes she thinks I'm still in school. Sometimes she asks if I'm coming for Thanksgiving. I can't come often. Not because I don't want to, but because I can't. My job is project-based, traveling all over the country. Sometimes I'm in the mountains for 6 weeks without any communication. When I'm home, I make up for it. I call every day, write letters, send photos, flowers, small gifts. But if I'm not there, it's not because I don't care. It's because I can't be there physically. But my mom thinks I'm abandoning her. Not always, but sometimes. And every time she cries and says, "Why doesn't he come?" It breaks my heart. And a week ago, I found out why. My best friend is Jason. We've known each other since we were kids. We played baseball together, took exams together, drank beer under the stars. He's the only one who knows how hard it was after my dad died. He was with me when I lost my job. He's the only one who came to my mom's funeral, even though she's still alive. I've always trusted him. And then he came to visit. We drank beer on the porch, laughing, reminiscing about old times. Then he went to the bathroom, and I found his backpack, open. His phone was on top. The screen lit up. A message. Unknown number. Asking about Alex again today. Said he was leaving her. Jason, yeah, I heard. Thanks for the money. Next time I'll say, he doesn't even call. Unknown number. You're saving me. I can't stand it if she starts demanding that he come. He can't. And she doesn't understand. Jason, it's okay. I'm taking care of myself. Like always. I sat there, unable to breathe. It was my sister. My little sister is Kate, who now takes care of my mom, who says she's doing everything she can to keep my mom calm. But they're not just taking care of myself. They lied, and paid my best friend to keep the lie going, so that my mom would think I was leaving her, so that she wouldn't demand that I come, so that Kate could remain the only child who cared about her. And Jason, he took the money to maintain the illusion that I was a traitor. He came out of the bathroom. He looked at me. He saw what I was reading. Alex, I can explain. How much? I said, how much does she pay? How much did you charge to say I didn't call? That I didn't ask about her? That I hated her? He didn't answer. He just looked down. And in that moment I realized, this isn't just betrayal. This is memory murder. They're not just lying to Mom. They're destroying the last image of me she has. And now I have to decide whether to destroy this story or to leave everything as it is. But I can't be someone who doesn't exist anymore. He didn't try to escape. He didn't scream. He didn't argue. He just sat down on the chair by the door, his head down, like someone who had been waiting for this moment for a long time. I couldn't tell, he said. I promised. Promised to whom? I asked. Me? Mom? Or whoever pays you to lie? Kate, he said. She said Mom gets aggressive when she thinks you're not coming. That she demands to be taken out. That she loses her composure. That it's hurting her. And so, you decided it was better to make her even more miserable, so that she thinks her own son hates her. I didn't say you hate her, he said. I said you're busy. That you can't. But she adds the rest herself. And, Kate, she confirms it. And the money? The first 2 times I didn't take it. But then she said, you care about her. Why can't you get something? And I took it. First, $100. Then $200. For moral support. For talking to her when she's sad. Do you visit her? Yes. Every 2 weeks. I talk to her. I play cards. I tell her about you. But not what you want. But what she can take. And how long has it been going on? He paused. He looked at me. 5 years. I felt like the ground had given way from under my feet. What? Since she moved into the house. Kate said you didn't want to talk about it. That you asked her not to bother you. That you don't want to know how Mom feels. That's a lie. I call her. I write. I pay for everything. And you sit there, listen to her ask, why isn't Alex coming? And you say, he forgot about you. I don't say that. He said. I say, he's far away. He's busy. But he's thinking about you. But then Kate says, he doesn't even call. And Mom loses her faith. And you're silent. And give me money. Yes, he said. I did. Not because I needed the money, but because I believed I could do better. That I was helping. That I wasn't letting Mom suffer from waiting. But you're letting her suffer from losing. I said. when she cries and says, "My son abandoned me"? Is it you who stands by and doesn't correct her? Is it you, whom I thought was my brother, who says, "Yes, he abandoned you"? No, he said. I never said that. But I didn't deny it when she thought it herself. And now I understand that it's the same thing. We were silent. For a long time. It was getting dark outside. The light from the window fell on the floor, dividing the room in half. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" I asked. "You knew I was calling, that I was asking about her, that I was sending letters. Kate said you didn't want to know the truth, that you gave up custody, that you said, 'Do whatever you want.' I said that when she asked me to sign the papers, I trusted her to take care of my mother, not that she could rewrite my life." He didn't answer. He just said, "I want to tell you, but I was afraid. I was afraid that you would break, that you would go there and ruin everything, and my mother would suffer. But she is already suffering. Because of the lie. Because her son. As if he didn't exist." I stood up. "Get ready. You can't stay in this house. Alex, you're not my friend. You are the person who took money to destroy my relationship with my mother. And I can't look at you." He gathered his things. He didn't argue. He didn't shout. He just left. And I sat on the floor, holding the phone, and looked at the last message from Kate. "Kate, thank you for caring." She asked again today. "You saved me." And in that moment I realized, this is not about Mom. This is about power. About who is considered a good kid, and who is the one who dropped out. And I decided, no one will define who I am anymore. Even for the sake of peace. I was angry, because I couldn't accept that she would hear my name, and hear, "He forgot about you," that she would wait, and be told, "No, he didn't call," and that all these years I thought I was doing everything right, and in fact I had been written off. I called the nursing home, not Kate, the nurse I had spoken to last month. Her name was Emily. She had always been kind to my mother, and to me. "Hi, this is Alex, Margaret's son. We spoke last week." "Alex," she said, "it's good that you called. Your mother has been waiting for you all day today. But, does she know I'm calling?" "Yes," she said. "But Kate said you asked not to mention you, so that your mother wouldn't worry." "That's a lie," I said. "I never said that. I call every day. I write letters. I pay for everything." "Alex," she said quietly, "I didn't know. Kate said you didn't want to be in her life, that you gave her all the custody, and asked her not to mention your name. But you see my calls. You see that I pay." "Yes," she said. "But Kate said they were automatic payments, and that you asked her not to tell Mom about them. That it was not personal." I couldn't breathe. "And what do you do when she asks about me?" "We say you're away, that you're busy. But Kate always adds, he doesn't call. He forgot about you. And Mom, she's losing her light in her eyes." "When did she last hear my voice?" 3 months ago. You called last night. But Kate said Mom was not feeling well, and picked up the phone. She said she'd tell her you called. But she didn't. And the letters? I send letters every month. With photos. With stories. They're in her drawer. Kate said Mom mixes them up with other people's. And she doesn't let her read them. I sat there and couldn't understand. How could you be so cruel? How could you take away a person's last hope? The hope that they're loved. "Alex," Emily said, "I didn't know. If I had known, I would never have let this go on. Your mom keeps asking, 'Is Alex coming?' And every time she's told no, she cries." I said thank you. I hung up the phone. And for the first time in years, I cried not out of anger, but out of loss. Because she thought I'd abandoned her, and that I wasn't there to say, "No, I'm here. I'm always here." An hour later, I call my lawyer. The same lawyer who had helped me with my custody 5 years ago. "I want to change the custody arrangement," I said. "I want access to all the medical records, the bills, the visitation schedule. And I want to be put on the list of contacts you can't lie to." "This is serious," he said. "You need proof that she's abusing custody. I have a correspondence. I have evidence that my friend took money to support the lie, and the nurse's testimony. Then we can file a complaint. That will take time. But if they systematically deny you access to your mother, that's a violation. What about the phones? You can demand that your calls be recorded, and that you be given reports. But the main thing is that you have a right to talk to her directly. And if they block it, that's criminal abuse." I didn't want a trial. I didn't want a scandal. But I couldn't keep quiet any longer. 2 days later I called Kate. "I know everything," I said. "About the money. About the lies. About you telling your mother that I left her. You don't understand." She said, "I'm doing this for her. She's calmer when she thinks you're gone. But she's not calm. I said. She's crying. She's waiting for me. And you're taking away the only thing that keeps her going, her faith that her son loves her. And you, she said. You're not even coming. Because you won't let me in. You're making me look like a traitor. And then you accuse me of not caring. She didn't answer. I'm filing a complaint, I said. And if you don't stop, I'm going to the police. Because this is not caring. This is emotional abuse. I hung up the phone. And in that moment I realized, I can't get back the lost years. But I can get back her faith, her hope, her son. And I decided, even if she doesn't remember me tomorrow, today she will hear my voice. And she will learn the truth. I didn't wait for Kate to say yes. I didn't wait for her to say yes. 3 days later, I bought a plane ticket to Madison. I told my lawyer I was leaving. I sent a letter to the nursing home asking them to arrange a meeting with my mother without Kate present, with a callback if she couldn't talk in person. They agreed, but on the condition that it wouldn't be stressful for my mother. I arrived in the morning. It was cool, rainy. I was standing in front of the entrance, holding an old photo of my mother and I at the lake when I was 9. She was smiling in it. I was hugging her. It was the last summer before my father died. The last time she was just a mother. Not sick. Emily met me. She nodded. She didn't say anything. Just show me my room. She's resting. But if you want, you can sit with her. We'll say that a visitor has arrived. I want her to know who I am. Then wait until she wakes up. And don't say that you weren't there. Tell her that you're here. That you've always been here. I sat down by the bed. She was asleep. Older. Weaker. But the same. The same eyebrows. The same hands that held me when I first rode my bike. Half an hour later she woke up. She looked at me. She didn't recognize me right away. Who are you? She asked. Mom, I said. It's me. Alex. She blinked. Confused. Alex? But he's not coming. I'm here, I said. I always called. I wrote letters. I paid for everything. But they told you I wasn't here. Who told you? Kate. And Jason. They took money to say I left you. She looked at me. Eyes full of tears. But, she said you didn't love me. I've always loved you, I said. Even when you don't remember me. Even when you forget my name. I'm your son. And I'm here. She held out her hand. I took it. It was cold. But she squeezed mine. You're here, she said. I've been waiting. I knew you'd come. And in that moment I broke. I didn't cry. I sobbed. Like a child. Like someone who has finally come home. 10 minutes later Kate came in. What are you doing? She screamed. You had no right. I did, I said. I'm her son. And I have a right to be with her. You're destroying her peace. And you're destroying her hope. I said. You made her think her son hated her. This is not peace. This is torture. I did it for her. No, I said. You did it for yourself. To be the only one who cared for her. To have control. But you forgot. She's not your property. She's my mother. The nurse came out. She said that Mom was nervous. That she needed to reduce her stress. Kate left. I stayed. Mom looked at me. Don't go, she said. Stay here. At least for a little while. I'll stay, I said. And I'll come. And I'll tell the truth. Even if you forget tomorrow. I'll tell you every day. She smiled. Faintly. But true. My boy, she said. My good boy. I sat and held her hand. Until she fell asleep again. And when I left a copy of the complaint I had filed with the court on the table. And a letter for Kate. You can keep looking after her. But no more lies. No hush money. If you say I left her again, I'll sue you. Not for revenge. And for her sake. I don't know if I'll forgive her. If we'll ever be able to talk like sister and brother. But I know one thing. She won't lose me again. Even if the world around her falls apart. I'll be there. And I'll say, I'm here. And I love you. I didn't stay long. Mom was tired. The doctor said the conversation was emotionally important, but she needed some rest. I promised to come back. Not in a month. Not whenever I can. In 2 weeks. And I kept my promise. For my second visit, I brought a notebook. And it were all my calls, letters, payments for the past 5 years. Photos. Even audio recordings of our old conversations. The ones that were left on voicemail. I put the notebook on her desk. And I said, if anyone says I don't love you, show them. That doesn't prove I was perfect. But it does prove I was here. She touched the cover. She ran her finger over my name on the front page. My son, she said. My son is coming. I didn't cry. But my heart ached with relief. A week later, the lawyer said. The complaint had been accepted. The court had set a hearing for 2 months. Kate refused to answer, but the nursing home had changed its rules. Now all calls and visits were recorded, and I was put on the official contact list, with immediate access if she asked about me. I also made an agreement with Emily. Every week, she would send me a short report, whether my mother had talked about me, whether she had been waiting for a call, whether there had been any attempts to hide my presence. The first report was simple. She asks about you every day. She says, "My son will be here. No one said you were gone." She smiled when she heard you called. I read it 3 times, and for the first time in years, I felt, I'm not fighting alone. I'm not a traitor. I'm the one she is waiting for. A month later, I came back. I brought a small record player and an old record, Simon and Garfunkel, Bookends. It was her favorite music when I was a child. I turned it on. She closed her eyes. She began to sing along softly. "Do you remember that?" I asked. "Yes," she said. "It was when you—" She paused, searching for a word. "When you were little. And I held you." "Yes," I said. "And I still hold you." She opened her eyes. She looked at me. Not with confusion. Not with fear. But with recognition. "You have come," she said. "You always come." I didn't say yes, because I didn't know if I could always come. But I said what was important. I'm here now. And that's enough. I haven't forgiven Kate. Not yet. She wrote a letter. Not an apology, but an explanation. She was afraid I would take her mother away, that I would be blamed for her deteriorating condition, that she would lose everything she had worked for. I didn't answer, not because I didn't understand, but because some wounds don't heal with words. They heal with time, or never heal at all. But I do know one thing. I will no longer let anyone decide who I am to my mother, even if she forgets me tomorrow. Today she knows. Her son loves her, and he hasn't abandoned her. And every time I sit by her bed, I repeat it, not for her, but for myself, to remember. Love is not just about being strong. It's about being present, even when they try to write you off. And if that's all I can do, I will do it every day, as long as she hears my voice, as long as she knows I'm here.